I gently waved my little hand, and the nearly empty rice jar at home suddenly filled with white, fragrant rice. Then I turned the sweet potatoes in the backyard into valuable polygonum root. When I looked at my third sister, who had been mentally dull for 18 years, I used magic to turn her into a sharp and eloquent business genius. When I saw my frail eldest sister being bullied, I made her a martial arts expert in an instant. The reason I had such powers was because I was the flower goddess reincarnated. But on the day I was born, my mother died giving birth to me, and the concubine of the family threw me out onto the street. Luckily, a man passing by with a cart found me. But at the time he was so poor he couldn't even feed himself, let alone raise a child. He thought about leaving me, but when I cried, compassion overcame him, and he brought me home. His kind wife saw me and sighed helplessly, because the rice jar at home was already empty, but they had no idea that my arrival would completely change their lives. Just then, my eldest sister walked over to see me. I unexpectedly grabbed her finger tightly and wouldn't let go. Seeing this, she said I was destined to be with them, and begged her mother to let me stay. The next day, Big Sister decided to carry sacks at the dock to earn more food for the family. But I overheard them and knew that wouldn't be enough to feed everyone. So I waved my little hand, and the rice jar instantly filled to the brim. Watching them cry tears of joy over the rice, I couldn't help but feel sorry for them. My eldest sister had extraordinary potential, but was frail from hunger. My third sister was stunningly beautiful, but born mentally disabled. I silently vowed that once my powers returned, I would completely change this family's fate. Now that the rice jar was full, my adoptive mother no longer wanted to let me go, but the good days didn't last. A group of soldiers stormed into our home to collect military tax. They demanded $300,000. The man recognized the tax officer as his former subordinate and begged him for a few more days, but I could tell at a glance that man was no good. Sure enough, he not only humiliated my adoptive father, but even forced him to crawl between his legs. To support the family, Father was ready to endure the humiliation, but I immediately used magic to give that officer a harsh lesson. They had no choice but to flee in shame, but before leaving, they threatened to return in 3 days. As soon as they left, my adoptive mother fell ill from the shock. Father wanted to get a doctor, but eldest sister said there was no money. Then Father thought of selling sweet potatoes from the yard, but I knew they were worthless. So to save my adoptive mother, I waved my hand and turned the potatoes into rare polygonum. The next day, Father dug in the soil and saw the yard full of polygonum. He thought he was seeing things, until he bit one and realized it was real. They prepared to sell it at the market, but just then I started crying. Thankfully, eldest sister understood and brought me along. At the market, a neighbor selling fake medicine accused us of digging herbs from graves, then bullied my mentally challenged third sister. I couldn't hold back anymore and used magic to cure her. With my power, she immediately cursed out the neighbor, then used clever words to sell out all the herbs in a flash. But just as we were about to go home, we ran into a local thug who had his eyes on my beautiful third sister. He tried to lay hands on her. Eldest sister rushed to protect her, but was too weak and got knocked down. Seeing both sisters about to be hurt, I used magic again to give eldest sister a strong and powerful body. She quickly defeated them all,